So I'm gonna start the handlebar install on the bike. I did get these put on the other day. So I haven't done much to it. I did ride it yesterday, about 250 miles, and I did not like these bars. They're kind of uncomfortable, so I'm gonna start taking it apart. I've got stuff on order, but meanwhile I could take them off and start extending the wires that are inside here. So that's what I'm gonna do today. I could be out there working on the Yukon, but it's about 100 degrees and I got no shade out there, so I'm gonna do this instead. I'll start by taking off the windscreen, taking off this trim ring and then the light, so I could get into behind the nacelle where all the wires are at, and we'll take it from there. Got the windscreen off. These are a T40, and then I'll take off the headlight ring. There's just a Phillips screw right there on the bottom. After the trim ring, you take off this retaining ring. It's just 3 Phillips screws that go around this adjuster part here. Then the light just comes off, and then the light has 2 plugs behind it. Here's the headlight. I like how it has that bar and shield in there. These are the bulb numbers. The headlight is H11, and then the high beam is H9. Anyways, I do like this housing. Maybe I'll just replace these bulbs and get LEDs. That way I could keep this housing and make it a lot brighter instead of getting the day makers. Day makers are cool, but a lot of people have them, and I want to do something a little bit different. So now we're here. I'm gonna get the rest of this ring off and see if I could remove the nacelle, and then I gotta get this off and this cover here. Alright, I gotta get this cover off. Just get this pick and push under it. Comes right up. And then there's these 2 screws underneath, and this cover will come off. Alright, after taking these 2 screws off, this thing's still not moving. I loosened these, not all the way, just enough to get this moving. And this slides, it moves out of the way. And this piece comes off. Just pops out. And then there's another screw underneath. Alright, well that screw actually wasn't real tight. Mine had this nut underneath it. And just kind of got it loose, not all the way, but all this stuff kind of like clamps together and then holds itself together. Like this piece went under here, so I got this side off and I put the screws back so I don't lose them. I'll do the same on this side, and then that'll expose all the wiring and everything I gotta get to. So when I ordered my handlebars, I didn't take into consideration that, well, I don't actually know how these T-bars get mounted. I guess they get mounted directly to that right there. What is that? The triple tree or this frame part? And there's supposed to be a clamp right here where, the handlebars pass like this and then they turn up. So I need to order that before I can put my other bars on. However, some of these electrical wires, they look really long already. I don't know if this is just the normal length, but I mean, I know these bars aren't factory. But if these wires are extended enough already, then I won't have to do that to put the other bars on. For now, I'm gonna zip tie this up and out of the way because I can't take it off until I take the handlebars off, because this has been drilled through. So I'll zip tie that up and out of the way, and I'll start trying to figure out what all these wires are for. Alright, so all these wires that come out of the handlebar, I unplugged them all. These ones here too. And I just used, you know, my pick to push the little tab and pull them out. Then as I'm looking at this is the clutch cable, and it pretty much rides down the side of the bike. But on my last Road King that I did this on, this brake cable comes down, right? And then it forks off into two hoses, and then it goes one for this caliper and then one for this caliper. But this one doesn't do that. This front brake goes down, then it goes underneath the tank, and it goes somewhere in the back. So I'm gonna try to follow it. I'm gonna take off the seat. I'm assuming I'm gonna have to take off the tank because of this routing. I can't really just fish it through there. It might be for the ABS. Oh, that's probably what it's for, because this bike has ABS. So, alright, well, I'm gonna take the tank off, take the seat off, and well, we'll go from there. I'll probably have to take the bags off too, so we'll see. So I got the seat taken off. I probably should have done this first. If you watch this video, you should do this first. Disconnect the battery or the main fuse. I don't know. I think maybe the fuses are either behind this side or this side. My other Road King had it like that. I'm gonna take the bags off and try to look for that. But if you're gonna be doing all this electrical, messing with electrical stuff, unplug the battery. I'm gonna do that now. Right? Alright, I got the bags off. These covers, you could just push on them or pull on them and they come off. They just have like some rubber grommets like that hold them in. You see? That's what holds them in. I think these are my brake lines. Go over here under this. I'm gonna take that one off too. So this is a lot more involved than I thought, but we'll get it done. So as it turns out, you don't need to disconnect the battery, or at least I'm not. I just pulled this 50 amp fuse. I guess it was right here, and then on the other side I pulled that cover off, and here's the ABS module. So I'm gonna have to get the tank off, follow this brake line. All right, it goes underneath the tank. It's gonna be one of these, I don't know which one of these, and then all I gotta do is order that. Every extended brake line and clutch line kit that I've seen comes with a bunch. I don't see why I need to replace these front ones if they're not connected together. Well, I don't think they are. Well, I'll see. I don't want to speak too soon, but if they're not connected, I'm just gonna get this one cable here, or brake line, that goes to the module, and that's it. I don't need to do all of them. And then, you know, the one for the clutch, the wires I can extend them myself. I will need to buy the clamp that goes down here. And that's it. This is a lot of work, but it's actually not hard. It's not hard at all. So don't be discouraged about doing your own handlebars. I thought it was gonna be a lot harder. It's just a lot of work, but it's all easy. Just removing screws, you know, keep your stuff together, keep it organized. Taking off the bags is easy. Taking off the seat, it's just one screw, and then, you know, the whole seat comes off. Take the bolt off, the screw off from the top. Take the 3/8 one from here and unplug this. The one that comes down out of the tank, it hooks up, well, mine hooks up to here, but I'm sure the touring ones are going to be the same. Then there's one plug underneath, and the whole thing comes off. The hose right here just plugs into this, the plastic one into this rubber. You can just undo that. There's this plastic thing that just kind of sits here. You're going to need to take this bolt, and then there's two on the front under this plastic thing there, and one on the other side. Alright, so after doing that vapor hose, there's this fuel line that's underneath the tank. It's very simple to take off. There's like a little quick connector that you pull the sleeve, and then this comes out. And then in the front, right here underneath the tank, there's this plug. Just undo that, and then you can lift the tank right up. This is the fitting for that connector. And then in the front, this is the that plug I was talking about. Alright, so I got the tank off. I came to the right side of the bike to start tracing this brake line, and it goes down, 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 and it's this top one here. So I'll take all these zip ties off and this plastic stuff and just keep tracing it. But it's I got this far, and it's this top one because there's like 3 right here. It's this one. And if you have your tank off and you're this far in, I'd recommend you change the spark plugs. I don't know when the next time I have the tank off is going to be, and the tank kind of covers this whole area, and these engines have 4 spark plugs, so might as well do that. I'm gonna start taking off the master cylinders, and I'm gonna leave the hoses plugged in, or the lines, whatever. I'm gonna leave them plugged in, and I don't know if I could find towels or something to lay them here, but there's these holes here, so maybe I'll just kind of bring them down and then zip tie them to here. That might be easier. Having these levers off on both, I could just take the handlebars off and then do that, you know, inside the house or something. It's hot out here. It's real hot. And that's going to be the most time consuming thing, is working with the electrical and extending the wires. So we'll start taking this off. These are a T27, and I'm pretty sure these are the same. There's some like in the back, some right here on this clamp in the front. If I see any changes, I'll come back. Okay, so this was on there like that. It's just held on by these 2 bolts right there, and they're T27. And I just took it off and put it back so I don't lose it. And then this whole thing, I'm just gonna zip tie it here to because I'm not gonna open this line up until I order it and it comes in. I just want to take the bars off so I can start doing the electrical. This thing right here, the turn signal light, it goes mounted underneath on this bracket, and it gets mounted. This goes like this. It goes mounted right here underneath on that hole, where the mirror goes. So the mirror goes through, and then you have this bracket here, and this is a 1/2 inch. So FYI, I'm gonna take apart that side and do the same thing. That side might be involved because a little more involved because this brake lever has a switch in here, so I don't want to mess that up. I'll be careful with that. Alright, got my 2 levers zip tied here, and then all of my electrical connections are unplugged for the handlebars. So the only thing left to do, there's 2 bolts, one under here and one under here, and it's a 3/4. So I'm gonna use this ratchet wrench to get to it. And then just take it off. So I got the handlebars off. I think I'm gonna end this video here and do this in 3 different parts. So this will be the disassembly. I'll do another video of just doing the handlebar wiring, and then one of putting everything together. Thanks you guys for watching. I appreciate you watching to the end.